Welcome to Between the Shelves, the premier Save a Library podcast. I am your host, Alex, and this is a What Are You Into episode. So I'm going to be talking about what we're into with my guest hosts this episode, Tory.
Hello.
And Kristina.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
No, I'm really excited to have you here today, and I have a lot to talk about, actually. So can I go
You can start,
first?
Alex. Tell us what you're into.
Thank you. So I'm into a video game. Surprise, surprise. It is. I mean, I'm more into a franchise of a game right now, and I'll get into that in a second. So the game franchise I'm into right now is called Dark Souls.
Oh, I've heard of Dark Souls.
It's a game that was released in 2011 from a company called From Software.
Retro.
Yeah, very, very retro.
Unfortunately.
It is the first game in a whole new genre of games that are dubbed Souls-like games that are known for their difficulty. They're punishingly difficult, which is why I initially bounced off this game when I played it
At the time?
13 years ago.
He's a vintage gamer.
I'm an old man. But for whatever reason, this time playing it really clicked with me. So much so that I beat the game, immediately went on to Dark Souls 2, and I'm now about 60% of the way through that game.
How many are there total?
There are 3 games, and then the spiritual successor is Elden Ring, which came out a few years ago, which I also completed.
But you did that first, right?
I did that one first. I think that might have unlocked it for me. So again, the games are punishingly difficult. They require paying attention to your enemies' attack patterns, so you can dodge them and parry and all this good stuff. The combat is extremely deep. Every weapon has its own precise movements, and it has like collision mechanics where like if you're swinging a weapon and you hit like a wall, you'll like bounce off the wall, which like seems like pretty obvious, but in video games you don't really see that very often. Like you usually just swing through the wall and hit whatever you're trying to hit. But like all of these things just make the game like extremely deep, and there's just so much you can sink your teeth into with the combat mechanics. You can do entire builds on certain weapons, or you could go like a magic route, and it's just a very, very deep game.
What's the plot line of
So I don't know. And I don't know with Elden Ring either. So the game is very opaque, story-wise. You kind of just start. You're like this undead person who comes back to life in this dark fantasy world, and you're really only given like a simple instruction like go become the ruler of the land, or go start the eternal fire, or just something like very open, vague like
Just
that. Just go. And then you're kind of just free to go do whatever you want. Take the branching paths however which way you like. The lore of the game is extremely dense, but it's only found by through item descriptions or talking to the non-playable characters in the world who are all speaking like riddles almost. There's like a whole community online of people who are like trying to decipher the lore. Like there are people who are really, really into it. I do not care at all. I just want to play it for the mechanics alone. So I couldn't tell you. It's just extremely dark.
You're really selling the game. It's punishingly difficult, and you cannot understand what's happening.
Which is exactly how he described Elden Ring.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't... So I actually am
It's the game for true gamers, it sounds like.
Honestly, it's a game for gamers. It plays off a lot of tropes of previous games. Like, it plays off your expectations. So it's very much a game for gamers, and I understand why it's not for everyone. And it took me 13 years for it to finally click for me, but now I get it, and it's all I want to do. So the other kind of aspect of like these Souls-like games they're all single-player games, but you're in a shared world. So other people who are playing the game, you can kind of see like ghosts of other players kind of like vanish or like step into your world and vanish. Like they just pass by as like a ghost, and sometimes they can see you, most of the times they can't, they just pass by, which is like really cool to see, especially for a game that's now 13 years old. There's still people playing it, and you can still actively see like ghosts just pass by your screen. So that's still very cool to see, but what makes it interesting, the game play part of it that's interesting is you can leave messages in your world that other people will show up and can read. But the messages you leave, you can't just like open up a keyboard and start typing. You can basically choose like, you know, like those like magnet kind of games where it's like words and like you can make word salad. It's like kind of like that. You can like rearrange words to make these like very vague poetic messages that you can leave to people. And sometimes you can leave like a very helpful message, like be wary of left. And like that means like, you know, look out for your left. There's going to be an ambush or something. Sometimes people are just trolling you. Like you'll just see like this vat of like dark mist or something. And it'll say like, down hole treasure to left or something. You'd be like, oh sweet. And you'll jump in and just immediately die. Because it'll just be like a bottomless pit. Like, so people are like actively trolling you too. But most of the time they're helpful. So that's a really cool aspect of it too. And then you can get an item in the game that allows you to invade other people's worlds. So sometimes that ghost that just kind of like you see in the corner of your eye or whatever will pass by. Now it will like, they're in your world. It's corporeal, exactly. And they can attack you.
Is there character creation in this game?
Oh, there is.
Okay, I've seen a Monster Factory about it.
Yes, we've probably mentioned this in the Elden Ring episode too. There's a famous YouTube channel called Monster Factory by the McElroy brothers that we both enjoy very much. And they have a lot of fun creating characters in these types of games because they can make truly monstrous looking characters.
Slightly playing the game a little bit with that character.
Yeah, just to see how it works in the world.
So you can make some truly freakishly looking characters in this game.
And then sometimes you'll encounter them.
That's a good way to troll people.
Yes, yeah. But there is like another community of like fashion, like Souls fashion.
Ooh.
Like there is
I would like that.
Hundreds, you might actually, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of like items, like equipment you can pick up. And because the game is designed where no one item is really better than any other item, you can kind of customize your character to look any which way you want. So, and it won't really affect so much like the games, your stats, your statistics, your attributes and things. So you can encounter some truly interesting characters out there in the wild. So it's pretty cool. I personally have like across all the games, they always have like helmets that resemble like animal characters. So I always play as like an animal with like a dog head. I don't know. I just like it. It looks cool. I finished all the games wearing a dog head helmet and it just looks kind of cool.
Anubis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you're saying like why play these games if they're so punishing and difficult? I've been thinking about that a lot. So much so that I checked out a book from the library called The Psychology of Elden Ring. And it's a whole book it's essays from game designers and psychologists kind of analyzing like why people like these kind of games. And I none of them were really completely satisfying to like of why I'm playing it. But what I did notice is, and this is with Elden Ring, I played it right after my first son was born. And then these games now I'm playing after my second child was born. And I think, and my one of my good friends, Pete, he also played all these games after his kid was born, like immediately after. And I'm trying to figure out like what the connection is. And I think there's something about the absolute chaos that is your life after when you have a newborn. And this game sort of gives you mastery over something.
So you're working out
your
life.
You're searching for control.
Yes.
Yes. So
Because you can't resolve frustrations in your life easily. That's just not how it works. But in this game, you're like, if I try hard enough, I can beat any problem that's in the game.
Exactly. Like, because like I mentioned with the game, like your equipment doesn't really upgrade or anything. I mean, it does, but like marginally and really to no effect. Like every enemy, even in the beginning of the game and the end of the game, will kill you in 2 hits. Like regardless of what you're wearing or how powerful you are. So how you do upgrade in the game is your own human skills. Like you just get better at the game the more you play it, and that's how you really level up. So I think that is kind of like, I don't know, it's like the achievement like of like managing the chaos of the game is like gives you the satisfaction that like maybe I could control the chaos of like life. So I think that's kind of like, at least I have no degree or anything of psychology, but like there's something there.
I do.
You do, really?
I do.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But I don't know anything about this topic, but it does feel like that came around from, started out as a game recommendation and then came around to a life lesson.
Yeah. You do learn a lot about perseverance and like dealing with adversity and like coming to terms with like sometimes chaos happens and there's nothing you can do about it, but like you just keep going, and
Get good.
you just gotta get good is a common phrase you hear people say about this game.
That's the message everyone's leaving with the Dark Souls magnets. You got to get good.
Get good.
Yeah, so why is it appealing? I mean, with greater challenge, there's greater reward. That's kind of part of it too. Like when you do finally overcome an obstacle, there's no game that matches the feeling you have. Like
because you worked so hard to do it.
Exactly. Like you'll lose to the same boss 30 times but when you finally do it, you're like, wow, like you get a real rush of adrenaline, I guess. But like as like a game itself, I really think it's like a stellar example of game design. And the thing that really clicked about it going into it this time is it's not a modern... You can't compare it to modern games. It's more akin to classic games like level-based games, like your Donkey Kong Countries and your Mario games, where it's like, here's level 1, level 2, level 3, and then you have your boss level. It's a lot more like that than it is your modern games that are all set in these like big, vast open worlds where you can go explore and everything. And the reason for that is in Dark Souls, for instance, like you'll have like this castle, and you'll think of that as like World 1. And then there are checkpoints throughout the map that are called bonfires. And basically when you reach a bonfire, you can reset the whole map. Like all of the enemies you defeated come back to life, but you also gain all of your health potions and everything back too. So it's kind of like a reset point. And if you think of the game like as level-based, like each level is kind of like the trek from one bonfire to the next bonfire. And while each of those treks is incredibly difficult, like nothing changes each time it's reset. It always resets to the exact same thing. So you know...
It does sound like Super Mario.
Yeah, it's exactly like it. So that's where like the mastery part of it comes in. Like going into it blind the first time, you will die. Like there's just no way you can't. There's ambushes. There's powerful enemies that you've never encountered before. There's all sorts of stuff. There's hazards in the environment that can kill you. But like as you progress a little bit further each time, you can learn about all those hazards, learn about the enemy patterns and everything, and eventually you'll overcome it. So that's really, really appealing. And I think if you want to approach this game, like if you think of it like that, from that mindset, like, okay, I just need to get to the next bonfire. Like I only need to worry about the thing that's in front of me. And once I get through that, then I can worry about the thing after that. It becomes like a really more manageable game, and it actually takes all of the stress out of it as well. Like I've played both of these games and all of Elden Ring listening to podcasts while I play. Like you don't have to like submerge yourself in this game to enjoy it. Like everything's always the same when it resets, so you can just where all the enemies are. And then like there's this also like risk and reward kind of aspect built into the game, where when you defeat enemies, you collect like their souls. That's the currency of the world.
The Dark Souls?
The Dark Souls, which you can spend to like buy new equipment and all kinds of stuff like that.
What if you collect a light soul?
I've never encountered a light soul. I guess you are this soul, light soul. But anyways, and again, if you die, you lose everything. So there's always that kind of like push and pull where like, do I want to risk going through this like door to keep pushing further to that next bonfire and risk losing everything I've accrued, or do I backtrack back to my previous bonfire and rest and bank all those souls that I've gathered? So that's really satisfying too. Like going into a new level blind is always thrilling because like you don't know, like you have no idea where the next bonfire is. You're just exploring this world, and there's always that push and pull. Like, do I keep pushing my luck and like going a little bit further, or do I backtrack and start over again? So I don't know. It's just a really, really satisfying game. I think it's just on par with like the original Zelda games in terms of level design. It's just so iconic, like perfect. The bosses are iconic. The world design is perfect. Like the bonfires kind of link back on one another, so the whole game is circular. So as you push forward, you can unlock shortcuts that will give you, access to the previous areas of the castle. Sometimes it's like you kick down a ladder that will make it easier to get to where you are if you reset. So, there's a lot of tools like things like that built into the game that like help the progress. Like you're not always starting at zero. You can kind of like there's minor progression checkpoints along the way. Anyways, I've talked a lot about it. I'm sorry. I knew I was going to rant about this game, and I knew neither of you were even interested in this series. But it's literally all I think about now, so I had to get it out of my head. And Dark Souls 2, which I'm playing right now, it's just more of the same. It's just all the goodness of one, but it's even more challenging.
It's two-ear.
It's two-ear. It's
Too dark, two souls.
It's super, super punishing. Like, it's even harder than one. I'm just a total...
You gotta find a different word than punishing to describe your favorite game.
It's not my favorite game of all time, but it's up...
Your favorite game right now.
Favorite game right now, for sure. It's challenging. But with challenge comes great reward.
Comes great power, comes great responsibility.
I'm going to cut all this part out. Forget I even said it. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's a great game. And they're all, pretty old now, so you can either buy them cheap or get them at the library. So I highly recommend trying it. And you're going to face adversity.
You're going to be punished.
You're going to be punished, but I just challenge you to give it an hour or an hour, 90 minutes, before, just give it a chance to click.
3, 6 hours.
Just give it a chance for it to click. Just give it a chance. That's all I gotta say. So Dark Souls, that's what I'm into right now. After I finish 2, I'm gonna take a beat before I jump into 3, because I need to get my head out of this dark world for a little while.
You want your soul to be dark, not your mind space.
Exactly, and I'll always return to it. What are you into?
Kristina, would you like to tell us?
Sure. So I realized that I did not talk about Rebirth at all in the Final Fantasy episode, so now I can talk about it.
Tory, the non-gamer,
you're
going to get bombarded, yeah.
I actually do have a game.
Oh, really?
But
okay.
Nothing anyway. Tell us.
So, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth just came out, and I took off 4 days.
Gamecation.
My gamecation to play it. So I have pretty much only been playing that. It is the second in a trilogy of a remake of Final Fantasy VII from 1997.
Is it the one,
it's the
capital
one.
T, capital O, with he's in it?
Oh, he's in it.
Mm-hmm.
He is Sephiroth. He is Sephiroth. And they've just sort of expanded the world. So the previous one takes place only in Midgar, which only takes up a small portion of the original game, but they sort of expanded it so you can build relationships with your party members and sort of go more in depth about the world. And now this one, you've escaped Midgar and you're just out in the big world trying to get rid of Sephiroth. And he's a wily guy. He's very slippery. Can never quite catch up to him.
So I have a question about the going from the first part of the remakes to the second part of the remakes. Mm-hmm. Is the first one much more linear because you're in the Midgar?
Yes. It's very linear, yeah.
And then this one, you're now in the open world. Does it kind of feel like a whole different game
It's
now? Definitely
a whole different game. They've improved upon the battle system. So in the other game, you don't necessarily have control over your party members. They just sort of do their own thing, but they won't use their special abilities until you tell them to. And in this one, they have materia now that makes them do those, so you don't have to worry about it. But also some of the characters are way more fun to play now. So you don't always have to just be Cloud and just beat people stab people to death. Now you can magic them to death or punch them to death. You could
only play as Cloud in the first game?
No, you could switch between characters, but they were sort of very stuck in what their role was. So if you were playing Aerith, the majority of her abilities were healing abilities. Yeah. And now she has healing abilities, damaging abilities, and buffing abilities. So there's a lot more to do. They changed sort of the weapon system. They've done a lot. But they've also expanded upon a lot of the parts of the game that were only sort of touched upon. They added characters into the game that were introduced in sequel prequels and made them more relevant to the story. They've also added a bajillion mini games of varying degrees of fun.
They all have to be at least more fun than in the original game, I would imagine.
No. There are, and some of them are mandatory. You have to win. Like you have to win or you can't move on. They've brought back essentially Chocobo Hot and Cold, which is one of my favorite mini games of all time. You're just walking around this giant world on your Chocobo, and sometimes you can smell a special item that the bunnies hid. And you can go dig it up. It's very silly.
And for our listeners who didn't hear the last episode, a Chocobo is...
a very cute giant chicken that you can ride.
Thank you. I'm doing that for Tory's sake.
Well, I've heard of it, but Kristina and I work together enough that I have a passing understanding of...
Yeah, sometimes I just info dump about
I have to hear about Sephiroth's latest...
hijinks.
Exactly.
I do love Sephiroth, a sad boy, if there ever were one. But there's just like this frog jumping mini game where you turn into a frog.
All of your interests colliding.
I hate the frog jumping mini game. You have to jump over. There's like a thing spinning this way and another one spinning the opposite way, and you have to avoid both of them at the same time, but you can't change the camera angle at all. And sometimes you can't do anything, and you have to play the game for a certain amount of time to win, and it's very frustrating.
Sounds like they didn't learn any lessons from 1997.
This one's a side quest, so like I didn't have to do it, but like there is like in the original game and in remake, there's like a squat challenge where you have to beat some muscly dudes at squatting, and in this one, it's sit-ups that you have to do, and you have to beat somebody at doing sit-ups.
This all makes sense to me because I know.
I'm as an outsider. I'm picturing. Do you know the muscly, the two circus men from Family Guy, who will show up and they love to eat eggs and steak?
You're not far off.
This is basically what is happening. So there's stuff like that, but it's super fun. There's so much to explore. You get to do a lot of mini game side quests to change like the affection level that your party members have to you, which is fun. Sometimes they don't explain some of the mechanics well, but
there's a bit of a love triangle from what I've read.
There is a bit of a there's a love triangle in the original too.
Short-lived.
It's short-lived in this one too. But yes, so in the original game, there's a part of the game where you go to the gold saucer, which is like, that was real Long Island.
You want to take that again?
You can go to the gold saucer, which is like a casino, I guess. And one of the characters comes to your room and you go on a date. They like come fetch you. And in the original game, the mechanic was kind of hidden. But in this one, you can manipulate it to get the character that you want to go on a date with. By doing like side quests, or they've introduced like synergy abilities where you do like tag team abilities. Those affect your affection levels.
So it's a dating sim mixed with...
Sometimes, yeah. Once you beat the game, if you replay it, you can pick who you go on the date with, and like different things happen with different people depending on what date you go on. So like...
Can Sephiroth take you on the date?
Sephiroth can't take you on the date.
That's DLC.
You can go on a boys' trip, though, essentially.
Wow.
So what do you give the game out of 10? What's your
9.
star rating?
Wow.
9 out of 10. That 1 star is for all of the mini games that I can't escape.
The frog jumping.
The frog jumping. You have to play the card game. They're like, it's a plot point.
Is that Queen's Gambit? Is that what
Queen's
it's called?
Blood.
Queen's Blood.
I think Queen's Gambit is
It's a TV show.
it's the Netflix show.
Oh, yes.
About chess.
About
Another
chess.
game. All right. Is it back to... No, it's your turn, Tory.
No, me? Who, me?
Sorry, Tori, you just get to listen.
Well, I can't talk as passionately about my game as you guys both just did, so I'm going to go to my next thing, actually.
Or should you?
Nor should I. I wish I was such a deep gamer. But instead I'm going to talk
Thanks for not
about...
calling us nerds.
What?
Thank you for not calling us nerds.
I really had to hold it in.
You can call me a nerd, I don't care.
Deep gamers. So I'm actually going to talk about a film director. Not one specific film. And it's the director William Castle, who is famous for directing like thrillers and horror B-movies in the 1950s and 60s. I don't, maybe Alex knows, Kristina definitely knows because I've talked about it. Every week on Saturday night, I watch this program on MeTV called Svengoolie, and it's this horror host from Chicago, and he shows, like, an old horror movie or thriller, and then he will, like, interject, like, jokes and little bits and skits and stuff in between the commercial breaks. But I've gotten to see a lot of really cool old horror movies, some of the Universal monster movies, but he shows a lot of these William Castle movies, and I've found myself really looking forward to them when he shows them. William Castle is known for, like, he makes these B movies, and then almost every one he would have, like, a gimmick to try to get people to come see the movie. And I've brought some illustrations of the gimmicks, which unfortunately the viewers can't see, but just so you guys understand how weird, but also how interesting it is.
I'll put them up on the website when the episode drops.
So I'll
if they're appropriate for the library website.
I know they might be a little scary.
Okay.
But we'll see. But so I'm going to describe a couple of the movies. So one of my favorite ones was called Dr. Sardonicus. Which
is that from Cats?
No, that sounds like a T.S. Eliot cat. Dr. Sardonicus. But it's the story of a man whose face is frozen into a gruesome grimace, and he wears this creepy-looking mask to hide the grimace, and he, like, secludes himself in this castle. He becomes, like, some sort of lord or something.
He just becomes?
Sort of, yeah. He just removes himself from society and goes and hides himself away. And then he, like, holds this scientist captive to try to force the scientist to fix his face by doing different dangerous experiments on him. And the scientist is morally opposed. He's like, I can't do these experiments on you. You could die. And he's like, I don't care. You gotta fix me. And the viewer doesn't see it, but he reveals his face, and the doctor's like, oh, okay. Okay, yeah, we gotta...
Oh, they never show his...
They do show it by the end of the movie, and I was so mad because on Svengoolie, at the beginning of the movie, he showed a picture of it, and it is grotesque. So I have a picture I'm going to share with you guys of...
Is this like an alternate route the Phantom could have taken?
Of the opera?
Yeah. Instead of hiding underneath an opera house?
I think the mechanics of the face are different, and that's the problem, because the Phantom... I actually don't know how he got like that, but... This guy, his face is not injured. He went into his father's grave to get a lottery ticket that his dad was accidentally buried with, but his dad's face had decomposed into a horrific grimace, and he saw it, and then his face became the horrific grimace.
Like when you get smacked in the back of the head and your face just stays like that.
Exactly, or if you make a face and your face stays like that. Yeah. So I have a picture of him in the mask and then him revealed for you to see.
Wait, which is the mask?
The top one.
Are you kidding? Is that a question?
You think he would choose to look like the second one?
This one is just sort of...
He's all teeth.
That's not going on the website.
How do you think I got these scars? Like
that's kind of...
If you want to see this picture, Google it. I'm not putting it on the website.
It is alarming.
I actually think the mask is more alarming.
It's unsettling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did this come out?
It's sometime in the 50s or 60s. I didn't write down the exact year. But, so he's walking around and he's talking behind the mask. So it's just that face, unmoving, and he's talking. So it is very upsetting. And the gruesome grimace face makeup that he had to wear, I had read that there's very few scenes in the movie where he's wearing this because of how uncomfortable it was for him, and it was, like, suffocating him. So they got, like, 2 shots of him grimacing.
Honestly, from a filmmaker's perspective, that's probably good. Like, the same thing with my favorite movie, Alien. They never show the alien because, like, what's in your mind is more terrifying than they could ever.
It's the build-up is a lot. Yeah. Especially when you see him looking like this all the time, you're like...
I can't even look at the photo. Can you flip that page over? It's making me sick.
I want the audience to know it is not great, but it's not... Alex is having a visceral reaction.
It's really making me sick to my stomach.
And I am unmoved.
You've seen worse. So the gimmick of that movie was that wasn't the gimmick. The gimmick of Dr. Sardonicus is that the audience would get to vote in a poll about whether or not whether he deserved to be cured of his rictus of the face or die, because he's a villain. He's a bad guy. But the movie only actually had one ending. William Castle claimed for years, like, we filmed both of them, but they didn't, and they only ever showed one ending. I'm not going to say which one, but
I like that. You get to choose, but you might be wrong.
As long as you don't reveal the polling results, then
which he didn't.
Yeah.
Smart. And his movies are not actually scary, usually to me. So it's sort of fun and campy. I mean, you might not want to watch this one because of his face, but it is fun and silly.
I have his letterbox up right now, and just from the posters, I mean, these look very intriguing.
Yes, I have a couple more with less scary accompaniments. So the second one is one that I just watched this past weekend. It's called 13 Ghosts, which was actually remade in 2001 as an actual scary horror movie.
I've seen that.
Which one? The remake or the original?
Remake.
The original is from, I think, 1960. Not actually scary at all. It's about this down on his luck museum employee who inherits a dilapidated haunted house from an eccentric relative, and he moves his family in out of necessity. But the house is inhabited by 12 restless spirits, and they all have a score to settle. And before long, they're going to claim a 13th soul to join them of somebody who is in the house, and the gimmick of that one, it was called Illusiono. He would give a name to the gimmicks. And Illusiono, you would receive this device if you went to the theater that was sort of like 3D glasses. It had a red part and a blue part. And if you were too scared to see the ghostly apparitions, you would look through one of them, and then the way that they processed the film, the color would hide it from you or show it to you, which I've got an example of the Ghost Viewer. And so that's how the film would look. If you look through the red, it would enhance the sight of the ghosts, and if you look through the blue, it would hide them from you. So if you want to be a little scared or a lot scared,
what if you turned it sideways and did one eye of each?
Then you would see half ghosts and half not, and then the ghosts are attacking you in the audience.
This guy's a genius.
He really is. He yes. And the third one that I'll quickly talk about is called The House on Haunted Hill, starring Vincent Price. And he's an eccentric millionaire who invites a bunch of people to a haunted house, and they have to stay the night in order to get some money. But then they all have questionable relationships with each other, and there's twists and turns in the house. And the gimmick of that one was called Emergo. There's a theme. And this is maybe the worst one. I don't know why I saved it for last. And it was just that they would fly a skeleton through the audience at a climactic moment in the movie, and it had glowing eyes.
They do this in the Harry Potter play.
Spoilers for the Harry Potter play. They fly an actual skeleton across...
It's a Dementor.
Oh, yes. But there's a part in the movie where a skeleton is flying through the air, and then suddenly in your real life you're like, oh...
This is amazing.
There's another one called The Tingler, and the gimmick is called Percepto. And it's just that your seat vibrates, it tingles. He would go all out. But
I mean, it worked because he's made 57 movies.
Right,
so they must have been somewhat successful.
They were somewhat successful. Some of them are pretty famous. There's one movie called I Saw What You Did, starring Joan Crawford, that a lot of people might have seen. And he was really inspirational to some other filmmakers, Hitchcock was inspired by him and Roger Corman when he made Psycho, and you can sort of see stylistically the similarities. John Waters has been really inspired by him. Robert Zemeckis, he started an entire film studio in order to make the remakes, and then only did 2 of them and then stopped. But people like him, and there's a movie that came out in 1993, great year, starring John Goodman called Matinee.
Great man.
Good man.
It's a good man.
And it's based on William Castle, and it's about a similar style of director making a B movie in that style. And he also would have
Ed Wood almost.
Yes. Yeah. And he would also have really fun he would show up in his own movies and do a little well, you're about to see the most frightening thing you've ever encountered in your life.
He would break the fourth wall?
He not even break the fourth wall, because he would insert he's not in the movie. He's just I'm talking directly to you before and after you watch this.
I was going to say, in the middle of the movie, he just stops the flow and he's like,
hey,
wait,
everyone.
Hey.
Get your spectrograph
it's
glasses on.
It's almost time for Emergo. But
Get ready to be tingled.
Your spine tingled. But it's just so campy and fun, the way that he would do it, and just the commitment to having gimmicks. I love gimmicks. So, I'm always very excited. I don't go out of my way to watch a William Castle on my own because I like to be surprised. Too scary. A skeleton might show up. So that's what I'm into.
This is amazing. Thank you for sharing this.
I recommend checking some of these out.
I don't even want to talk about my movie now because it's not going to sound so uninteresting.
Do you want to
in
look at Mr.
comparison.
Sardonicus again?
Oh God. Wow. How do I follow this up?
Tell us about your movie.
All right, the movie is called Mommy. It's from 2014. It's a Canadian film, and it's about a relationship between a widowed single mother and her son, who is just released from a mental health institution for having these violent outbursts.
I think I saw this movie.
You think you saw this movie?
I think I saw this movie.
All right, well, I'll keep going, and you can tell me if you have. So basically, the movie starts with this boy being released to this mother, and she has to now basically become his full-time caretaker because if he has any more of these outbursts, he's going to be sent to prison, basically. So it's basically she has to watch him until he reaches the age of 16 when she can finally, be released of his care, essentially. And, watching him is a huge burden for her because she can't work. She has no social life anymore. So there's this high tension between her and her son. And the son has ADHD and these violent outbursts. So he's wildly unpredictable. And so basically, this is continuing until she meets her new neighbor, who's this woman, Kyla, who has kind of like a troubled past herself. And the two become fast friends, and she sort of steps in to help manage this child. So that's kind of like the setup of the story. Any of this ringing a bell yet?
Maybe.
Okay. So, I mean, the movie is extremely heartfelt. You really...
No, never mind. It's not the same movie.
You really... it's a really profound movie, and it has a very realistic portrayal of mental illness. The son, the actor's name is Antoine Olivier Pilon, I think, if I'm pronouncing it correct. Anyways, he's amazing in this movie. He has such a wide range of emotions. When he's having his breakdowns, he's so engaging. You can't look away. He has when he's violent, he's extremely threatening. He's a child actor, and it's amazing how he can be this threatening monster and also a sweet child in the next moment. And you can tell it's really wearing on his mother, who obviously loves him, but has to deal with these crazy swings of emotion. So I mean, you really give it up for them. And then the neighbor is a fantastic actress as well. And you kind of peel back layers of her situation, and the more you learn, the better she becomes as an actor too. So 3 stellar performances. But what really is unique about this film is the way it's shot. It's shot in a 1:1 aspect ratio, a square, which I think is really effective because it kind of feels claustrophobic, you're
how
really,
the mother is
squeezed
feeling.
in. Exactly, and the son, who's literally in a straitjacket at some points, or has the threat of prison above him all the time. So plus the medication he's on, everybody is really feels squeezed, and the pressure is really on, with the exception of a few scenes where the director switches to a widescreen aspect ratio when the characters are bonding and they can let down their guards for a little bit, or when there's a dream sequence, which I don't want to spoil anything, but it's one of the best dream sequences I've ever seen in a movie. I don't want to spoil how it ends, but man, I gave this movie 5 stars on Letterboxd, and I see...
It takes a lot to give 5 stars for you.
That's a very high mark for me. And I really, really recommend this movie. It's called Mommy. It's a foreign film, but if you can get over that small hurdle of reading subtitles, it's definitely worth the watch.
It's so fun when directors play with aspect ratios to tell you something about what's going on in a movie. You don't see it a lot, but it's so interesting when it does happen.
And you get used to it really quickly too. It's not so jarring. It's weird at first. You're like, are they doing this? And then you quickly adjust to it. But yeah, really, really great movie. Mommy. Who wants to go next? Kristina?
I guess I do. So I've been listening to this podcast, Decoder Ring. Every episode, they examine a cultural mystery. So some episodes have been the history of Chuck E. Cheese, or Jane Fonda workout videos, just all of these really cool things that have happened in history, how did we get here, how did this become so big? But I thought I would just recommend two of my favorite episodes, which is not the Chuck E. Cheese one, surprisingly. One of them is The Curious Case of Columbo's Message to Romania. So in that
the statue of Columbo, they love him over there.
They really do love him. So Peter Falk had this anecdote on like talk shows where he talked about how he had gone to Romania and like filmed like an anti-war message as Columbo. And he had talked about it on multiple talk shows over time. And I think maybe in 2020, one of the clips resurfaced. So people were trying to find this message that he recorded and nobody could find it. So the host of this show was like, well, I'm going to find it. And she just sort of, it's a 2-part episode where she just sort of calls everyone she could think might even be tangentially connected to this to see, like, was this recorded? Is this real? Like, why are there no records of it? Do you have a copy of it? And it's just so good listening to her try to figure out, like, what is going on with this message. Like, is this, like, could Peter Falk have made up this whole thing? Like, where did this come from? I won't tell you what the ending of the episode is, but you should really listen. Even if you don't like Columbo, like I am personally like not interested usually. I'm not going to say I'm not a fan of Columbo, calm down. But like it's not something that I would watch myself. Like it's not something I would seek out. But I still thought the episode was really interesting. The other one is The Mystery of the Mullet. So the Beastie Boys are credited with creating the word mullet.
Oh, the word.
The word mullet, because they're the first ones to have like recorded something with it in 1994.
That seems late.
Which seems very late. So the host tries to find out if she can find an earlier recorded use of the word mullet, because everyone remembers using it before 1994, so it must exist. So she's just like going through like myths, I guess, about where you can find the word. Like someone said it showed up in this magazine like 2 years before, and like she's trying to track down a copy of the magazine and calling like libraries to get like archived magazines. And it's just really, really fun and interesting to listen to.
It sounds like the exact kind of intense deep dive of a frivolous topic that I really enjoy. It doesn't matter what the topic is.
Some of them are so good. Like,
yeah, I'm going to subscribe to this.
Yeah.
I might not listen to every episode, but I'm sure there's something in there for me.
Yes, there's like maybe like 75 episodes. The way that it's produced is sort of erratic.
It takes time to do that research.
It does take a lot of time to do all of that research. Sometimes she has like guest hosts who like it's an area of interest of theirs, and then like they do a lot of like the deep diving and explaining of what's going on. But it's very good.
So I don't want you to spoil anything, but is it a Mandela effect sort of thing, or do they actually find like an answer to
the mullet question?
They don't find an answer to the mullet question.
Wow. The search continues.
But the journey is sometimes the best part of.
Yes.
Cool. Very cool. Tori?
So I'm going to end with the least exciting. What are you into?
Carrot
Mine,
sticks.
it is a game.
Oh, cool.
It's a mobile game because I am.
Oh.
Wow, darn! I'm exclusively a mobile gamer, which is unwelcome in these
kidding,
parts.
I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I'm a Dark Souls hardcore
His
gamer.
Dark Souls coming out. So the game is called Love and Pies, and I was up until recently working somewhere else full time, and I did get most of my office to play this game. I've been playing it for I think like 2 years. So anyway, it's a British mobile game. And the style of it is that it's a merging puzzle game. So you have these generators, and you tap them to spit out things, and then you merge those things together to make other things. And the reason you're doing that is because the framework of this game is this woman named Amelia has recently gotten divorced. She's a single mother, and she's going back to lick her wounds, and she's gonna stay with her mother and work at their family cafe, the Windmill Cafe. But when she gets back, the cafe's on fire, and her mother is nowhere to be found. So she has to rebuild the cafe and figure out the mystery of, like, where's her mom, what's going on, and she becomes, like, the local detective for her town. So there's all these, like, local mysteries. There will be a thief that keeps stealing from people, or somebody's posting slanderous information about somebody else, and she, for some reason, has to investigate while also baking a bunch of pies and interior decorating and remodeling this humongous plot of land, like, that her family owns for no reason. And there's interpersonal strife between the townspeople and her. So you're exploring the plot line of that and everything that happens to her while you merge to fill orders at the cafe to get coins in order to continue going through the plot line of the story.
So is there a set amount of plot, or is this kind of like Candy Crush where they just keep releasing levels?
It's like that, where they keep releasing levels. Every Monday a new piece of story comes out, but it's like you watch a scene, like,
so it's more
cut
like
scenes.
it's episodic.
It's episodic, but it never ends. Like, as soon as she wraps up a mystery, it rolls right into that, like, something happens and now she's got to investigate this. There was a whole, like, soap opera plot line where, like, her mom is still, no one knows where the mom is, but there's this rich man in town named Sebastian who owns the competing cafe. He and his daughter own the competing cafe, the Clean Bean Cafe. And he claims to be her real father. And she's like, wow, I finally get to know my dad. And her rival, Edwina, is now her sister. So they become very, very close. But he is putting, like, spy cameras. Like, he gives her a statue of a Cupid with a camera inside it. And she puts it in the restaurant. And she's like, wow, what a cool statue. And it just looks horrible. Like, you can tell it's creepy. And
one of its eyes is black and, like, with a
the
red
eyes
light.
are like glaring into it's, I don't know. But so she keeps building all of these different rooms and additions. So there's a movie theater, and there's a gym, and there's a swimming pool, and there's a camp on the grounds of her cafe, and there's a campground. There's a
This is like the Mary Winchester house.
Yeah. Yes. It's unbelievable how much she keeps expanding it. And they just, like, they'll have seasonal events where they're like, we found this cabin down the road. Let's turn it into Santa's workshop. Like,
and you have to merge things.
So is the game part of it, like, the managing of the cafe? Like, you have to fulfill orders and stuff, and then you get to spend your money to upgrade your house and like that?
So there's, like, 3 types of game currency. So the game part of it is that you're merging to fill the orders, and then getting the game currency in order to learn more of the story. Mm-hmm. That's the game mechanic of it. Okay. So it's sort of a satisfying, like, turn your brain off, like, tapping and merging. But then whenever you feel like it, you're like, okay, now I want to read.
You keep saying tapping and merging. Like, I know what you're talking about.
Are you familiar with tap? Like the motion of tapping?
Yes.
And then, when you merge 2 things together.
Yes.
So there you go.
Okay.
You tap on the screen, and then things come out, and then you merge them together.
Am I an idiot? Like, what?
So,
Am I not
getting... Think about Candy Crush and how you're making, like, sets of 3, right? Yeah. At least sets of 3. It's like that, but instead of making sets, you're putting them together.
And it's only 2. So, like, 2. You'll have two like, cups of water, and then you merge them together, and now you have a can of soda.
Okay. All right. So it's kind of like Minecraft. And then
somebody wants a can of soda and a burger and a piece of pie. So you have to make all of those items by merging.
I understand.
Yes. And you have a limited amount of energy with which to tap, and then you have to wait for it to regenerate.
I understand. Mm-hmm. I understand.
This is maybe the worst segment of this podcast of all time, but I really enjoy it. I can play it for hours. I'll play an audiobook or a podcast in the background and just go at it.
I have a emerging game called, I think it's Suika game on the Nintendo Switch. There's 0 plot to it. You just merge pieces of fruits to get a watermelon, and you have to get 2 watermelons to clear it.
There is a game, I don't know what it's called, but it's a merging sort of game. I think this is a genre I'm just learning about right now.
It is, for sure.
And if you watch ads in these games, they will show you ads for a game that looks exactly like this game, but slightly different.
Yeah, Zach plays a zombie version.
Oh, yes, I have that downloaded, but I haven't tried it out yet. Merge Wasteland, I think it might be called.
Okay, so there's a game that I have seen that
Merge
is
Mansion.
no. There are.
Merge dragons.
Oh my god! Never mind. The episode's over.
Tell us.
No, you start with like 3 elements, like fire, water, and wind, and by merging them in various combinations,
Captain
you can
Planet.
eventually make like a
Or
factory.
the Avatar.
Well, thank you both for joining. If they come out with a merge Star Wars or a merge Alien, maybe I'll jump into this.
Or maybe
genre.
this is an untapped market that you need to merge. He's comforting himself by looking at the horrifying visage of Dr. Sardonicus.
Oh.
Anyway, check out Love and Pies. It's a lot of fun.
I will.
To me. You don't have to. You won't like it. But
Maybe there's a merge game for me.
you know,
Maybe after I finish Dark Souls 2, I'll need to take a step down from intensity with a merge game.
Punishing himself.
Yes, when I stop self-flagellating myself with Dark Souls, maybe I'll make some pies.
Maybe you will. I mean, you know, there's also the famous Merge Mansion that has had Kathy Bates and Pedro Pascal in the ads for it, so that might be more your speed because it's a very high-profile merge game.
Cinematic.
The Merge Mansion cinematic universe.
That could be a good gimmick for what's his name still alive? Castle?
No, not at all.
Oh, that's too bad.
I believe he died in 1977. He missed out on the entire. He would have loved merge games.
He probably would have loved the entire internet. You could get some good gimmicks on that internet.
He would have had some GeoCities websites.
America Online keywords.
America Online keyword Emergo.
Emergo.
Anyway,
that's all we got for this episode, and thank you both for joining. And next episode coming up, I think we are doing Humor Month for April, so
ha ha ha.
haha, more chuckles. Bye.
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 Oh, that was our best episode yet.